Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Catterday. It's my cat's day today, so he gets the most attention on Saturday, so we call it Catterday. And today I have the lovely Ashala with me. Thank you, Ashala, for joining us. So excited.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I know you and you're even in my province, so it makes the scheduling so easy.
Right? We don't have to do all the conversions and
Yeah. So you've had some time off this summer. Why don't you let everyone know what you've been up to and give us a little update on you?
I have had some time off and it's been amazing. I always try to get away into the bush in the summer, camping and being off grid a bit, visiting friends in the interior. And last year I went for 3 whole months. I was still working a couple of days a week. This year I managed to get away for a month, but it was perfect timing. I timed it so that I was there before all the smoke of the fires started happening. So
awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
And what else did you notice about nature? I've been noticing like some of the animals. How are they all doing while you're out and about? Did you notice it all?
I mean, it's interesting you're asking about that because I see 2 different things happening. On the one hand, I mean, I've always had these extraordinary phenomena happening with nature and with the animals where I have direct communication, and animal messages will show up in very extraordinary ways often for me. But this year I've noticed different animals being in each other's realm at the same time, like animals that wouldn't normally be close together and just sort of hanging out. I've noticed that. And I actually had some clients in Australia and they were telling me that they've seen that same phenomena lately.
Yeah.
So there's something going on in terms of being, just maybe a bit more neutral in our interconnectedness and not as much of the extreme polarization. I mean, it's like if animals who don't normally hang out together in nature can do that, maybe we can take a lesson from that, a hint from that. Yeah. So I see that. And then I've also seen, I just did a live presentation on this whole conundrum around the climate situation and the different polarized views on that, and being someone that's been such a long time, person that loves the environment, loves nature, and spends a lot of time in nature. I've seen a huge dramatic change over the years. I've seen a lot more drought and a lot more death of the forests and the trees. But I also believe that that is more due to geoengineering and weather manipulation than it has to do with, the effects of our human actions. So
yeah. And I always get to that nature often reflects what's going on in the collective. So what's happening in our, because it's a reflection, same with the human resonance, right? We're affecting the human resonance, right? We're part of Earth. We're part of nature.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. And all of this, geo weather stuff, it affects our biosphere, right? Our intestinal biosphere is affected. And so it's affecting the Earth's biosphere, it's affecting ours. And as you say, there's a real reflection back and forth between us and them. So
yeah. And when we also are manifesting beings, everything we say, everything we right, everything we think about, every action we take is going towards a reflection that's going to come back to us. And so I just want to remind everyone today about keeping your energy with you a little more and getting out in nature and sending nature your love and energy versus sending it to a story or a narrative, and to back off of those external things and do a little more within. I'm finding more and more, especially since Shasta, we've had a pretty big heart opening there, so to speak. And it's just really shifted a few things for me. It's like, well, if we give attention to something, it grows. So what are we going to give attention to?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
exactly.
To back off it. Yeah. So yeah, intent equals will equals focus. Yes, Monroe. Absolutely. and to write it out too, what you do want. So focusing not on what you
Mhm.
don't want to happen, but what you do want to happen,
Mhm.
and even writing
Mhm.
that out. Do you want to do a collective little read today for everyone?
I'd love to. I've got the cards all tuned up, ready to go here. I don't have my other camera on at the moment, so we'll have to do
That's
it the
okay.
old-fashioned way where we just tilt my
That's okay.
screen down and have a little look here.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I really feel like that's a great perspective to look at, as well as you were saying about doing the focused work internally and how we radiate that energy out and create more of what it is that we're resolving, healing, focusing on in ourselves. So let's have a look and see what Spirit wants us to understand about that at this time. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This is that the Hierophant is like the teacher and
Yep.
the leader, the educator. So we are, like the guides are saying, literally moment to moment, we are sending out our beliefs and our intentions, and we are literally teaching, even though we don't realize it. We are, every moment is a teaching moment, is what they're saying. So we are teaching literally the natural world around us. We're teaching the air that we breathe. We are infusing it with our beliefs and sending it back out. Yeah, this is beautiful as well, because the threes are all about collaboration. They're all about play, creativity, and joy. So there's something about sharing what we are teaching, valuing what it is that we believe to be the most important priorities within ourselves, and then the sharing expression of that. So finding other people who share like-minded values, and as we continue to constellate that energy, it exponentially grows. Yeah, the time of doing it by ourselves is less important as where we're going with sharing this with others.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. They're saying it's like 3 and 4 parts process. So we're taking one part of our energy is gathering and constellating inside, working with, as you're saying, writing down what your intentions are, writing down what your visions, your priorities. I have something that I'm calling a value statement, and I'm working on comprising, it's almost like a personal manifesto. And it's one part that, and then it's 3 parts of sort of expressing that out in the world in as many different creative ways as you can. And feeling that expression connecting with others who are in a similar vein. I don't know if you've experienced this, Tanya, in the last little while, but I've certainly experienced where it's phenomena I've never seen this much before, where I'm believing something or following a particular narrative, and I'm literally, every person I meet randomly is in the same vein. Like,
yeah,
it's just like we're
like attracts
magnetizing
like.
each other. I'm like attracts like, right? Yeah. Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. And look at this. This is like the massive collective awakening. People are often asking me, when is this awakening happening? When are we going to hit critical mass? And I'm often showing like it is happening. It's just sort of like we're maybe not quite getting the manifestation or the reflection. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Oh, it's huge. I can feel it. I can feel it
That's
in the
right.
collective. Yeah.
That's right. So the awakening, it's one of those things, I like this when I'm watching the starry sky at night when I'm out on my camping adventures. And you can be looking at the stars as they're appearing, in the dusk, in the twilight. And you can be staring at the spot in the sky and you're like, I totally am watching it. I don't take my eyes off it. But then all of a sudden my brain registers, oh my gosh, there's twice as many stars there. I was watching it. Where did they come from? I didn't see them showing up. They just appeared suddenly. And I'm like, this is so extraordinary, because it's almost like my mind can't grasp it as it's unfolding. It's only taking periodic snapshots of this emerging expression. So our minds are having a hard time, I feel like, keeping up with seeing and registering how much of this activation is actually taking place.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we happen to be having a bad moment or a bad day, which does happen, we're going to see a lot of the other reflection, and we can start telling, oh, things haven't really changed, you know, like I'm seeing this and this and this. But again, that doesn't necessarily, because that's a snapshot that we're getting, it doesn't necessarily reflect reality, because those stars are coming out whether we see them or not. They're there.
Yeah. And did you notice that they're more shimmery, or there's more movement? Monroe would like to know.
Definitely. And look at the card that was on the bottom, the star. It's literally on the bottom. Shimmery, I would say so. You know, this has to do with, it's funny because I'm hearing that the Schumann resonance, there's again this energy of shared frequency, which creates exponential growth. So our advice right now is to stay in that frequency. And if you find yourself falling out of it, that's okay. Find your way back. Look to the things that you know bring you joy. Bring your attention and focus onto those things. And also sometimes, you know, my clients and other people ask questions about, well, how do we work on the challenging stuff and stay in the joy? And there's a lot of different answers to that question. It's, you know, it's kind of like, how do you find joy? But to me, it feels like, it's this, you are a teaching example, everything you do. So even as you are addressing challenging situations, the way you show up to that is a teaching experience. It's a teaching opportunity. So whatever it is, you know, you're in your lawyer's office working out some challenging paperwork or something. What you bring to that situation is a teaching opportunity. You can actually change that other person's experience, the experience of, you know, the receptionist or someone in the waiting room. The teaching opportunities are around us continually.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can speak from experience too, running a painting company. I have so many personalities that I get to deal with, and couples who maybe don't even communicate with each other. And I get to be the bridge between the two of them. And I have to stop myself sometimes, because at some point I want to react. I'm like, no, that's not going to help. Then I have to go, okay, no, what's the best? Just hold love. Okay. So I just sit and I hold love and I listen, because when I listen to them, everything goes a lot smoother, right? They just need to be heard. All right, I hear what you're saying. And quite often there are questions that come up before the job's finished, or they're a little nervous Nelly, and I get to like hand hold them a little bit more between. So yeah, and everyone's saying the Schumann resonance is up. That's because there's more people awakening every single day, you guys. It's happening. It's happened.
Exactly.
We're enjoying the journey. And everyone seems to forget that too. We can't just look at the destination and wish to be there, because you're just setting yourself up for frustration to get there. So it's important to remember that we need to enjoy the journey. So what can you do now to bring you joy in your life? What can you learn about? Can you do gardening? What is your expression, as Ashala was saying, right? This is one of my expressions, is being on here and talking with amazing people and having these great discussions. It lights me up. And another one is,
Absolutely.
Yeah, spending time with my kid or going out in nature. Uh,
Mhm.
creative at cooking, right? Like, I made a new salad
Mhm.
last night. I don't make new salads very often because usually it's like I'm on a mission. So, what do you need to do for you in this time? Yeah.
Interesting. I just had a client earlier today, and this was showing up in her reading. She was talking about, well, she's looking for a relationship. She's looking for the ideal partner, the ideal relationship, and she's got some, like many of us, she's got some incredible ideals and a story about what it is that she's looking for. But what the guides were showing her, and I was taking a lesson from this too, is that often we are, like you said, looking at the destination, not the journey. And that if we look at what we think it is that we want in that destination, but then we look at what we actually really have space for and need for, and what really would matter and be applicable for where we are right now, sometimes that's a big gap. And it's almost like we're trying to become this person in the future and create relationship or experience that goes along with that. But we're missing out the person that's here right now. And what is it, like, it's okay. Some of those needs could be really simple. Like, what do you have space for? And what would actually light you up and be really helpful for you right now? It's almost like really accepting where we are on the planet, where we are as individuals, and going, you know what, I'm going to care for this version of me and really live from that place of joy and celebration. It's not about someday when I get to there, life's going to be good. When we all get to that point, things are going to be better. It's about being, really caring for the us right now.
Yeah.
Like, here we are, a lot of things going on in our world, and we're able to meet like this and have these extraordinary conversations, look at the cards, share through our collective guides all the new perspectives that are coming in constantly. What a celebration.
Absolutely. It's, and to celebrate every day, gratitude. Everyone gets
Mhm.
so busy, caught up in things that you forget that it's simple. It's so simple. We're here as pieces of source to reflect back. That's what we agreed to do. That's our one request, was that we kick back all of our experiences so that source can
Mhm.
also enjoy these experiences. And when we do that and we think about that, it's like, well, then why wouldn't I just do joyful things and have fun, or do what I need to do, even a task, and bring joy to it,
Bring joy
right?
to it.
Because
Bring
it's
joy to
way
it.
more fun then.
It
Way more fun.
sure is.
Yeah.
It sure is. And this is different than putting up with things that aren't in alignment with your true self. It's different.
Yeah.
That's different. It's like, I'm not talking about, oh, I'm never going to get where I'm intending to go or where my ideals are headed. I'll accept this and I'll settle for this. It's different. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is this and that, right? It's like,
Yes.
while I'm on my way there, I'm going to do this 100% with full integrity, with full celebration, with full honor and gratitude. Because when we live from that place, guess what? The channels that open up where we're desiring to evolve towards, they become more clear, more direct and obvious for us. When we live from the place of, well, I'm not there, and therefore I'm kind of feeling sorry for myself over here,
Yeah.
or I'm settling for this thing that's not okay. That's, again, it's how you perspective it. Because
Yeah.
one thing that's guaranteed
Absolutely.
is there's going to be change. There's going to always be change. And if
And
you're creating change from that place of like joy and
yes.
gratitude and honor and celebration, if that's the change, the edge of your change, you're going to be manifesting amazing things, continually expanding the potential.
Yeah.
If your change is like feeling stuck and waiting to be pushed through, your resistance might
Yeah.
not be as
Yeah.
joyful.
Yeah. Every time. It's also about being uncomfortable with not knowing, because everyone wants to know all the details of what's going to happen next and how's it going to go. and what will my experience be? And at the end of the day, something even more joyful will show up. I'm asking for this, but may something even more, like even better show up, right? So, you know, we get caught in these things, and
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm laughing, Tanya, because I had a client yesterday, and in their reading, it was showing up that, and I think this is true for a lot of us who are, you know, awake, conscious light beings, that when they went through their selection process, you know, how do you want to interface with life this time around? That they picked the option. It's sort of like, you know, you can check which option or which plan, like you go in and order your plan, all have that plan. And the guys were saying that they took the surprise package plan, like surprise me. And this guy's like, I love structure. I love knowing what's coming. I love being really, he's like, but honestly, if I'm really honest with myself, my true soul loves surprises. So, you know, it's like, I think a lot of us took that, check that box, like, keep me guessing, surprise me. I don't want to know. I want it to stay interesting, you know, like, so I'm assuming, because of the way I look back at how I've designed my life, I'm like, I think I checked that box as well.
I think most of us did, and it was, I think it's the sign of the times, right? And then we all signed up when, okay, you can tell me more about myself when I hit this point in life, right? And then all of a sudden more gates open up, and you, oh, wait a minute, this whole world is not what I thought it was. Oh, Ashala's frozen. At least she's laughing. Galactic All-Star Package. I love it. There you are. Okay, you're back. Yeah, yes, please. I'll take the surprise package with a side of comedy. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely. And we had an interesting discussion. Let's tap into this about rainbows. And if you guys have any questions for Ashala and I, let us know in the chat, please. About rainbows and how the rainbow colors exactly line up the way they're laid out with the 7 main chakras. But we know we have 12 chakras now, so it's been upgraded per se. And so we're missing some colors on the rainbow. We've come to the conclusion. So you guys can put in the chat as well what you think the other colors might be and see what you can come up with. And Ashala's frozen again. Hopefully you can hear me. So we'll get you to pull some cards on that and a thought pattern around that, and then I'll go into the next step. Yeah, she's going to check in and check out. All good. Sometimes you got to like check out to check back in, and that's okay too. I call them. So when I need to take a little break, and most of you know, I call them napadations, because then I start with a meditation and it drops right into a nap. And so I call them napadations. All right, there we go. Did you hear the part about the rainbow?
No.
Okay. So we talked, just as we talked about it before the show, we're coming up with other colors for the rainbow because the colors in the rainbow exactly line up with the chakras. And so I just wanted to see if you could do a little read. And although we know we have 12 chakras, not 7, so we figure we're missing some colors from the rainbow. So we would like to know, yeah, see if we can find what some of those other colors might be. I've got everyone guessing in the chat.
Let's have a look at this. I'm going to put the screen down again.
Yeah, quantum colors we can't see yet. That's a very good possibility.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite intense, actually.
We have the tower for the rainbow.
Well, you know, this is actually making there's something to do with black and white here.
Yes. That was my first too, because I know that the Earth star is black and the white is higher your star chakra.
Yeah, so there's other colors in black and white is what I'm being shown here. It's making me think about there's this process called ice dye. I don't know if you've seen it. You know, the whole tie-dye thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's another type of tie-dye called ice dye. And what it is you use only the color black, and you lay out all this ice on the fabric, and then you put the black dye down on the ice. And as it melts, all the colors that make black come in to the dye, to like, as the ice melts, they seep into the fabric. So black actually has all the colors in it. And there's some colors in that are so interesting and like unique. So what I'm getting is there's something about we're missing aspects of the black and the white.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so you asked about the numbers, and you were saying, what did you say, 12?
So we have 7 that are quite common that everyone knows about, and that's the colors that are in the main part of the rainbow as listed. And then there's actually 12. There's 5 other ones. We have an earth star beneath our feet. We have one at our belly button, which I like to call my drone chakra, because that's your consciousness and you can send it out to do things for you. And wherever you put your attention, it goes. We have our higher heart chakra.
Yes.
Yeah. We have our crown chakra. We have our stars chakra. And then there's another one above that, which is like a source. I don't know what it's called. Source chakra, maybe. Yeah. I mean, we have chakras on our hands. We've got all kinds of chakras, but we're talking about the main core center.
What I'm being shown here is 14. So a doubling up. And that we will probably within the next 7 years, we'll get 6 new ones coming, is what I'm getting. There's that 7th one, and then there may be some more following that. But there's something about where we're sort of locked out from some of these colors, is what I'm being shown.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has to do with frequency. So isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it's absolutely. And now I have to go check out that ice tie-dye. So if I can, I'll try and pull it up here in a minute.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because
Oh, you're frozen
Temperance
again.
card of the tarot, actually the rainbow card.
Oh, really? No, you're good. You're good. You're here. You came back.
Yeah, it's okay. It's actually the healer and the blending. So the blending of color.
Awesome. No, I absolutely love that. Yeah, it's perfect. And it's funny because right away I was like, it's black and white to start with, because I just knew those colors of the chakras. So yeah. We were getting a thymus higher heart chakra coming in right meow. According to the Atom Call Them Blueprint, we should be getting 15. My friends, with your Earth star 3 feet below your feet. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do we have chakras on arms? My mother's arm got cut off in an accident and her stump drives her nuts, wondering if chakra's blocked. Oh, interesting. You definitely have meridians in the arm.
I was just going to say, that's what I heard was there's meridian. The meridians, it could be, you could call, it's almost a bit synonymous, meridian and chakra is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's a way to work on that. 17Q, just message me. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then let's talk about plasma for a second, because we're up in the sky with rainbows. It's come into very strongly recently into the awareness around the fact that plasma's in the sky, plasma's space, plasma's like everywhere, plasma's in us, and it carries information. So it is a form of water, really. So the whole watch the water thing. So I just wanted to see what the cards would say about that information. We believe that's how information is transported down to us, where it's like the conduit of information. See what you get on that. The energies must be too high. She's shuffling. I can hear her shuffling. There we go. Thank you so much,
Elemental.
Phil. Elemental. Go ahead.
There's a rainbow again. See it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing elemental energies, and as the elements change their states, there is information exchanged as the states go through their transitions. So there's something about the plasma has to do with the shifting states and the information that bridges as the states shift is what I'm being shown.
Yeah.
And it's also about cycles. It's about, they're showing me like atoms and electrons, and there's something about predictable cycles of exchanging information as things transition between states. And that is sort of like the plasma connects to the quantum transition point as elementals move between states.
Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. No, it just came in really strong about the plasma. I was like, oh, like I know water has memory. I know that water was under the Sphinx, and they did record keeping within it, but I'm beginning to think maybe it was some sort of plasma. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and as you say, the plasma holds memory. It can even hold like life force. So this is something that's been coming up in my readings as well, where we talk about, species extinction, and there's seeds and plants and animals and all these different sentient life forms that are supposedly not here anymore. And what I am being shown is that they actually exist here, like literally here, not interdimensionally, but here in that transitional like plasma state. And what they're saying is it's sort of like you can find, like, for example, you can radiocarbon date archaeological remains, things actually dug up in certain ways, depending on the transition of the elemental phase that they go through. They can release like scent, and there's still life force. Like, I mean, I always love that story about those date palm seeds that were discovered 2,000 years later in the Temple of Solomon, buried in the wall. And they, they basically took them to a university biology lab and fertilized them, and that two of these seeds germinated after 2,000 years of being dormant. Like, right? It's like, that is plasma. There is, these things are completely supposedly bone dry dead.
Right? It's like it's energetic implants almost, right? As Monroe says. Yeah.
It's like it can revive. It can be resurrected, like.
It's true. It's true. David Pills has a story too about tobacco seeds that were found in like the Ice Age with a hunter, and he had a pouch on him, and there was some mammoth with him, and they got the seeds out of there, and David was able to get them to grow. So it's fascinating. It really is. When you get in your own way and you just act with wonder, it's amazing what shows up. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. And what can happen.
Is.
Yeah. Yeah. And so recently too, I was on a call last night with a group, and they kept going. They were talking about horses all passing right now. Australia, Canada, across Canada. And then I kept getting, so some people were trying to blame it on the food, and I was like, no, they've chosen to go now. So, right? And that maybe, yeah. And that they're gonna come back as dragons. Yeah, save all your seeds, 100%. Yeah, you've cut out, Shala. Shala, hold on. You'll come back in a second. I'm getting used to these pregnant pauses. Yeah, give it a second. You're still underwater. I'll let you know when you're back. Yeah, absolutely. I think the energies are really high, and Ashala and is just having a little difficulty. The guides really want to tell her something. There we go. She's back. Okay, so you were showing a card about no, you're frozen again. I can hear you laughing. That's a good sign. Yeah, absolutely. Planting our seeds with our own DNA. You're still cut out.
What happens. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. All right. You're slowly coming back in. There we go. Okay. There we go.
Back?
You're back. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. Ashala, you're gonna need to pop out and pop in again. Sorry. You're cutting out. Starlink, hurry up, right? Yeah. You guys can all see me. I'm good, right? Just making sure it's not me and that I'm sitting here by myself thinking I'm fine. There you go. She popped out again. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tuscan Dawn. I actually have one of those seeds. Yeah. It's amazing what else we can tap into when we just leave ourselves open and curious. Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole what is that book? The Russian girl who, yeah, put the seeds under your tongue, and so the food grows in combination for your body and for humans in general. But yeah, it would actually thank you, Donna. Thank you for letting me know it's not me. It would actually change the chemical makeup so that it's better for humans to have this, right? It gives it, yeah, an extra dose, so to speak. Yeah.